I think if you see the indirect tax collection, that is on the upswing. I think that talks about some underlying factors which are favorable to the economy, because you don't have indirect taxes uplift if the manufacturing is not moving forward, and that to my mind is a big sign. Now the direct tax on the other hand is a bit low than what was expected, so it's kind of balancing it out or evening it out, which means the corporate earnings have been slightly lower. But overall I would say the global narrative today is of weak economic situation, but I think within that India is moving along.
We've jumped up 4 notches on the ease of doing business list. Have you seen the situation change on the ground, realistically speaking? Because you really have your skin in the game here. You're putting in your money in this market.
See pockets, they are now. If you look at income tax forms, it's electronic today. Your filing is electronic. You don't have to go and meet any officer. I think that's what ease of business is. What do individuals or people want? The interface between individuals, corporations, and government needs to be simple, transparent, and in a manner where it's less intrusive. I think you can see progress in those areas. Are there many other pieces that need to be fixed? Yes. And I think this government is truly committed to getting the ease of doing business in India sorted out. So I remain very hopeful.
I have a question to ask of you on telecom. Just when everybody thought that issues have settled around, here comes another tailwind, and that's coming in the form of the call drop, compulsory, mandatory compensation. The industry is up in arms. Will you be able to, do you see a situation where you will be able to arrive at an amicable solution on that, or is legal route perhaps the next obvious move to make?
I think representation by the associations have been made to the regulator, as I understand. And from what I saw as a regulator statement, they are reviewing that whole process. There are issues on which regulator needs to look at sympathetically. I have said this before to your channel as well. Call drop is an issue that needs to be addressed. In 20 years, 18 or 19 years have been a very celebrated telecom industry. The last 1.5 years, things have been a bit difficult. Spectrum has been taken back, reallocated, frequencies reassigned, which forces networks to be retuned. The data surge has taken away a lot of spectrum capacity. So there are issues which are being addressed, but I would say the angst or the anxiousness in the regulatory side as to why India is not having the best telecom networks that it was having for 20 years is an issue that we all need to address. And I personally believe every week, every month, things are getting better. So I hope that the regulator will look at all the issues and come out with a solution which is conducive for the industry and equally satisfies their needs.
I have a last question to ask of you before I let you go, and I know that's really high on your radar and it's going to be taking a lot of mind space, which is the big 4G launch. You have Vodafone preponing its launch, you have a Reliance coming up. How are things really shaping out in that space, and considering everybody wants the first mover advantage, Bharti obviously wants to leverage on that.
Yeah, I mean, we are very happy that we took a lead in the launch of 4G. Today, the experience is very good. You're getting blazing speeds, of course, big fat pipes and capacities. We're in over 300 cities. 4G has been very well received in the market, and the upper end of the market and phones are migrating to 4G. So, I mean, we are happy that Airtel as an industry leader is now giving an array of services, 4G, 3G, 2G, Wi-Fi hotspot. So, we're in good shape.
Quick last question. One of the things that people are keeping a close eye on is the political landscape in India, how the narrative is changing from development to communalism. As a stakeholder in the Indian economy, how concerned are you of a possible setback in Bihar, if there were to be? And do you believe that's going to impact the reform process?
I think it's a government which is determined to move forward the economic agenda, and you will see that this government in and outside the parliament will keep pushing for those reforms. And I have said this many times before, there are very few pieces left in the serious sense of reforms. Most of the things are behind us now. The insurance FDI has moved, defense FDI has moved.
Yes.
They're very small things. Telecom, one of the few countries in the world which has got 100% FDI. The entire infrastructure space is 100% as far as FDI is concerned. We are expecting further notification on simplification of FDI in terms of composite caps, easy understanding of FDI norms. I think the government is moving, and politics will keep on happening, elections will keep on happening. But here is a government led by a leader who is conscious of what business and industry can do for the country. So I think we as a nation should remain hopeful.
on Facebook at facebook.com/etnow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at etnowlive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/etnow.